marks 1 year that I've been on YouTube. My very first YouTube video, I showed you guys all the RC cars I had and what I was planning on doing with them. I'm gonna do that again, but this is 1 year later. I want to show you each car individually. Let's get into it.
Before we get to that, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, my wife. She literally buys all the groceries and said if this video does not get enough likes, I will not get to eat dinner for a week. So please leave a like. Also, I would like to give a shout out to these 2 subscribers for being literally the only 2 guys that comment on almost every single one of my videos. Island RC Duke and jdpasl. These 2 have way bigger channels than I do, and I'll put a link to their channels below. I highly appreciate your guys' comments. Thank you.
This is the Drag Geo. Now, this was my first RC car that I ever got, and then I slowly kept replacing parts onto it. And then now it's like this. All the parts that came off of this car eventually ended up on the scrap car Geo. My future plans for this car, the only thing this currently really needs is I broke the front bumper. So I need a new front bumper. Otherwise, this car is pretty much ready to go. It needs a radio put back into it. I couldn't find any running footage of it, so yeah, it hasn't been started up in a couple months, so I'm going to start it up, and then you guys can hear about it. This is the Scraps Jado. It's made from all of the old parts that came off the first Jado, including the original body that I got with my car all those years ago. At one point, at the very beginning of my channel, this had a Traxxas Pro 15 in it, and that worked fairly well. It was really janky, some like real, not well-designed exhaust ideas that I had. So we took that out of there, because eventually it lost compression. So now that engine's sitting over there, I got a new sleeve for it. But this car is made not from parts of just a Jado, but it's got all kinds of parts in here. As you can see, it no longer has the Traxxas Jado radio tray. I got a big block engine tank in it. I got the turbos are directly mounted to the chassis now. You can see I've done a lot of drilling to this chassis. Otherwise, I mean, this engine I just started working on, and I got it running. I have a few clips of it moving around, but it hasn't really been running too long, so that is the Scraps Jado. This is a Exceed Forza that my wife wanted a Camaro body on. We ended up putting smaller wheels on it, so I call it a Rally Camaro. It's very dirty, so this whole car is going to need cleaned again at some point. I'm going to work on it. It got a RPM front bumper on it. I mean, it's pretty nice. This thing impressed me. It's really quick. The problem is with this car is it's not durable. We've replaced the front steering hubs on it, which we haven't really gotten to try out yet, because they cracked and broke, and it's going to need new links at some point, because the links are equally as crappy. But when this car is moving, it moves. It is quick for a little 2-speed 10-skill RC car that was $250 new. I don't know. I'll go ahead and show you up close. Oh, one more thing though. I did do this body a long time ago, and all the fenders are starting to crack. I bought new fenders. These are rubber fenders for a Tamiya or Toyota Hilux, I think. replacing them. I'm going to repaint the wing. It's going to be all in a video in the future. This easy tractor slash that I built with my good friend Alpine Works. He gave me a lot of parts for this, and he even actually gave me a little bit of money to build it too, because we wanted to make a really nice looking truck. And I'm still not done with it. Originally, we had this .12 GS engine in it, which is really pretty and all, but this used to be a Rustler. Then I extended it to be a Slash with a Slash chassis. And now I want to put a big block in it. This car currently is missing a lot of things in it because I just didn't run it because that .12 needed a bump box. And I didn't want to configure my bump box differently to run this car every once in a while and then switch it back to run my buggies. So, I mean, it's got lots of things. We have a aluminum transmission casing, aluminum towers. It's really nice big bore shocks that used to be on the Jado a long time ago. RPM arms in the front and the rear. I gotta get new RPM arms. I have like a Nitro a Nitro Sport rear arm on here. This thing is really cool. He somehow even managed to get metal gears in the transmission, which I think they're metal gears from the actual electric Slash or Rustler. There are upgrades that you can get from that, and he put them in this transmission, and it works. It all rolls. So right now it's just a roller. That's great. I can't wait to put a much bigger engine in. In fact, I think I'm going to be putting in the Hyper 21 that we have. Either this engine or this other engine that I just was able to get the head off of for the first time ever. Sorry about me. I don't know what this engine is, but if I can get it to run, look at that cooling head. That is the coolest thing I have ever seen for a cooling head. It's another 21. It's not pull start though, which I kind of want to pull start. So we'll see. This is my Kyosho Inferno MP7.5. Now, I got this for my birthday last year, as you can currently see. One of the shocks is off because I snapped the shock shaft getting new ramps. I've done a lot of work to this thing. It no longer has the original engine in it. This wing fell off because I don't have any of the clips on it. The original engine was this Kyosho GX21. I put a new piston and sleeve in it, I ran it, I got it too hot, destroyed my brand new piston and sleeve again. You live and you learn. I've done a lot of stuff to this. I put these aftermarket wheels on it. I had to get this body, which isn't the right body. I want to get a proper body. I know the Kyosho Neo 3.0 is the same shape, same exact car as this car is, just newer. So we ended up putting a RB Concepts C5 engine in here. It's a matching pipe I got off eBay. I think I paid $120 for it. Other than that, other things I've done, I put a sway bar kit on it. I put the metal C-hubs on here. Put new servos in it. It has telescoping center drive shafts. We put the chassis braces from the Neo 3.0 in here. It has carbon fiber front shock towers, front and back. I even ended up replacing the chassis because I bent the original chassis. This is a 775 T6 Racing Pro chassis. Oh hey, I knew this engine moved back. You can see that's not good. Hey. Oh wow. Yeah. Look at that. That's the Kyosho. This is my Offna truck build. It was a buggy when I got it, and we ended up putting a truck body on here. We got some lifted body posts to put on the front. The rear is just using the wing mount, and we put some HBI Savage Racing wheels on it. Something new about this body though, we ended up putting RC body armor on here to see if I could keep the rest of the body from cracking, because we got a crack here, and then we ended up cracking the back. At some point I might get another C10 body, do the same green to purple transition thing, but instead of black I might do white or like a cream. I like this body, I really do. You can see here, it was just an old Offna buggy that I actually found this on Facebook Marketplace, and it was in a purple bucket with the next 3 cars. I think I still have a picture of that bucket. I asked the guy if he would take $100 for everything he had there, and I got almost 4 cars out of that. $100, and I got a bunch of engines. This engine came out of it, that engine came out of it. I got engines in a few cars that came from this one purchase of this purple bucket. All hail the purple bucket. This is another car that ended up coming out of the purple bucket. This is a Duratrax Maximum that we took a really old Barbie car and we put on top of it. This is actually a Hannah Montana Barbie doll that my wife so graciously let me use. I think this thing's really neat. It is really, really quick. I don't have the radio in it right now because I put that in the scrap Cheeto to use that. But can't say anything bad about it. I mean, good little 2-wheel drive stadium truck. I could make it into a buggy if I put smaller buggy wheels on it. I love this thing. I mean, it just works. And it's a Barbie car. This is the last car that I actually got out of the purple bucket. This is another Offna buggy that I turned into a road car. I decided to go with a Corvette body because I really am liking a bunch of Formula Drift. I really like Matt Field and his Corvette, so I copied his paint scheme, or a Falcon team's paint scheme. They got the same exact paint scheme on a S15 Sylvia. Not 15. I know it's a Sylvia. That's 13 maybe. I'm retarded. And a Mustang. So we ended up putting the Offna GTP front bumper on here, and it does work pretty good. Another bump start engine, a Losi 350. At least that's what the head says, but the engine, it says it's a Force 3.5. So it's the same, not quite the same. Very similar engine that's actually in the truck. If I could do anything to this, if I could find a 2-speed for it, that would be awesome. The other thing, I'm gonna get smaller wheels. I know they're, I think GTP wheels, they have a really hard tire compound, and they're slightly smaller than these wheels are. So hopefully, when we put the smaller wheels on there, it won't rub the body so much. When I get the new wheels, I'll repaint the body. I can touch it up in these spots. I still have the paint for this. So that's my Offna on-road car. Shocks probably need rebuild. for those of you who have ended up watching this whole video, this is a special. The only car I didn't show in the beginning, and I won't even say it's a car yet. This is leftover parts from the Slash build. It used to be a Rustler, so I had this carbon fiber chassis that it just ended up being too short for the body for the Slash, so we went to a Slash chassis. So I had all these Rustler parts. I had the Pro 15. I went, okay, well, we're going to rebuild the Pro 15. And then I wanted to make it into something that wasn't just a Rustler or a Sport. So I wanted to make a 1/10 scale drift or touring car. So what you see going on back here, these are Traxxas Vortex shocks. I've cut the drive shafts down from the Rustler. And I've cut just a bunch of stuff to make these 1/18 scale Trax arms work in the back. When this thing is done, I'm hoping to put a Trans Am body on it. Should be cool. Thanks for watching. See you next time.